So I have a question. Does the active track work on the DJI Mini 2? On this drone, there is no active track feature. However, there's two different methods that I've found that allow you to be able to track using this drone. The first is kind of like a hack, and then the second is using a third-party app that has tracking built into that software. Now, I really want the Mini 2 to be able to have active track because the drone is so small and you can take it anywhere. It's such a good drone and it can actually get you some really good looking footage, but active track is very important, especially when you're out as a solo creator. So let's look at the first method, the hack. So what you can do is go into the quick shots. And when you're in quick shots, you can use the orbit mode. And when you're in orbit mode, if you walk in the same direction that the drone is moving around you and you're moving at a quick enough pace, then the drone's not able to actually do the full orbit and it actually just stays off to one side. Now, in terms of the drone actually being able to grab onto you and lock on, it works super well. Like you just click the plus button, it locks onto you. And then when you start doing the orbit in the quick shot, the drone's gonna move around. And what I found is that for a little bit, the drone might stay off to the side, but eventually it's gonna try to sweep across. And if you're moving faster than your Mini 2, well, the drone kind of comes up and over and then it ends up twisting and it's either gonna turn the other direction or it's gonna lose you completely. You're only gonna be able to use this in very limited situations if you want just like a side shot of you walking it with a landscape. Yeah, I mean, it could work for a few seconds and it does work as like tracking, but you could easily just use your controller and pull left or right on the right joystick with the drone off to your side and have the controller by your side, and you can get the same looking shot without a whole lot of effort. So the hack method for getting the drone to follow you really doesn't work that well. So let's look at the second method, which is using the app Litchi. In the Litchi app, there is the ability to track. And what you do is you pinch on the screen and it's supposed to lock onto you wherever you're at. Now, playing around with this is just walking. I'm able to grab onto myself and the tracking will basically follow behind. So wherever I'm moving, the drone will follow behind and try to keep the distance. And you can see from this example here, I'm in a high contrast situation. I'm wearing all black. The trail is very bright and it seems to lock on and be able to hold me as I'm moving. Now, I'm not moving super fast and the drone seems to lock on, but what happens is the tracking box starts spreading out and getting bigger and bigger. Now, there's a normal track mode and then there's a high track mode, which is supposed to be more precision. And in both modes, I couldn't really get it to function that well. I was able to get it to lock on sometimes. So I want to try this with a little bit more motion rather than just walking. And I found that as soon as I get on my bike and start moving at a faster speed, the tracking just doesn't work. Now, I've seen online that people say this tracking works, but from all the testing that I've done, I could not get the drone to stay locked on and be reliable when I need it to be. So overall, working with these two methods, the orbit hack and the tracking in third party, neither of them work that well for active track, and it ends up just making it much more frustrating than it needs to be. And you could just get better looking shots if you held the controller in one hand, pushed in a direction, and then moved, because that's all you're really able to get with either of these active tracks anyways. So next, make sure you watch this video, which goes through a bunch of different drone moves that you can use with your Mini 2 when you're out as a solo creator. Watch this one.